Last time, the setup for this, the setting, was that it was Victorian England. The era of steam was going ahead steam. And the three of you had, for various reasons, been aboard the Icarus, the first airship ever to be launched in the world. And as you were journeying across the ocean in the sky, you mysteriously started losing altitude, and you weren't really sure why, and it ended in crashing into the water and getting washed ashore on a misty beach. Exploring further along the shoreline revealed another Icarus, or so it seems. A somewhat different design, but the name very clearly emblazoned across the side. Choosing to investigate this, it seems that Ashton and Doyle are getting different perception of this place than Dell is, for some reason. And as we left off, you were all discussing the mystery and what to do about it on the bridge of the ship, when a bony-looking clawed hand reached through the floor and grabbed Ashton's ankle.
I hit it with my cane.
So, here's first thing. I need to reveal something.
Uh-oh.
So you are currently on the bridge, and this is a zone.
Okay.
In Fate, zones are adjacent, rough chunks of areas. You can move to an adjacent area for free if there's no obstruction between them. If there's some kind of obstruction between them, it takes your turn and may also require a skill check of some kind. Currently, on the bridge, you don't really have any adjacent ones, but that will be solved shortly. As the turn order is decided by... I'm just going to change the music a little bit.
It's not ominous.
So, turn order. Everybody gets a turning around, and as you guys have been taken by surprise, your enemy will get the first turn. But, as you're saying, you can try and defend against it. Now, how you defend against it will determine what you roll and what the effects of a failure to defend or a success to defend will look like. You said you want to hit it with your cane, right?
Yep.
All right. Let's start with that. Okay. Hitting it with your cane. Go ahead and roll fight. Oh. That is a very bad failure.
What can I do with my fate points?
You can re-roll, or you can add 2 to the roll.
I feel like I kind of need to burn a fate point and re-roll that.
Well, in order to do so, you have to tie it
to
to one of your aspects.
Yeah, I have no aspects that, Nope. Alright, -2.
Alright, so, the result of this is, well, fortunately for you, this was not a regular attack. But, as you whack at this thing with your cane, it doesn't really seem to do anything, and you get yanked through the semi-rotting floorboards that As you like get yanked through them, you're like, oh wait, this is a rotted old hulk of a ship.
Yay!
Oh, sure, now he tells us.
Jesus
I've been
fucking
telling y'all that
Christ.
the entire time.
And you are now below decks with a creature that very much is dangerous for your health.
You don't say.
Speaking of which, upon seeing this thing, as there's still some light streaming in from above, as you get dragged down and this thing sort of like throws you down to the ground, as you look up and see this cadaverous, wiry creature sitting there amongst the semi-rotten barrels and crates around. Go ahead and give me a will check.
Okay.
As this is something that is clearly unnatural and is tainted by... Okay. So that's a failure, but I believe you have a stunt for
I do. I am going
resisting
to,
corruption.
as I see this thing, clearly this is not some tainted creature. That's ridiculous. This is just someone who's very disheveled, very dirty. In my fear, I'm clearly just seeing something that it's not. And
Of course, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and that costs me a fate point, and I can reroll my failed will check with deceive.
Right.
Also, I call it denial.
As you convince yourself that this isn't actually anything supernatural and protect your mind through that mechanism.
A 6.
That does, in fact, succeed. Believe it's with style. No, not with style, just regular success.
Ah, damn. Okay.
Still, very good. You take no corruption. As this
Clearly, you're just a
disheveled
hobo.
person attacking you is standing over you now as you are on the ground. That was a create an advantage with a movement attached. So I believe, yes, you will get a aspect temporarily. Simple enough, let's just call it prone. Alright, so that's on you for the moment.
I really miss playing a character with a cane that's also a gun, because this is just a cane.
Speaking of, I believe, and this is again for any sort of time-sensitive conflict, my preferred method of initiative and fate, and the one they use for Fate of Cthulhu, I call it popcorn initiative. Effectively, everybody just gets to say who goes next, and everybody gets one turn around. So you can say who goes next without that limitation. I think it does make sense for Ashton to go next, as you're now on the ground, prone in front of this hobo. It's not the best lighting. There's rotten barrels and crates. You were obviously like seeing things incorrectly before, so this is probably
It's fine.
just a very large person.
Yeah. Definitely.
I mean, it's not unheard of for people to be 7 feet tall.
No.
No. Oh, yep, no. Alright, so, you, as this is a conflict, you have some different options. You can try and attack in some way. You can attempt to overcome, which will get you past an obstacle. In this case, an overcome would let you stand up from being prone, and remove that aspect from yourself. You could take cover at this, because, well, removing the prone from yourself would be a part of it, I think, but you could also create an advantage you could
Would I be able
try and hide
to,
yourself.
Would I be able to defend by... I'm prone, crawling back behind some of the barrels and crates that are in the room?
Okay. Defend is usually a response to an attack. That's what you did just now with your fight. That was defend.
So this would be create an advantage by
Yes.
crawling behind
You could-
the barrels and crates?
Yeah. You could stay prone, but crawl behind the barrels and crates. This would create an advantage and would let you either alter the aspect in some way that...
I'm gonna try to alter it to prone behind cover.
Okay, here we go. So yeah, you could use create an advantage to change prone into prone behind cover. There's sort of an advantage and a disadvantage at the same time. Let's say that's a what way are you doing this? I believe athletics or yeah, I believe that would be in athletics to do that. To like scoot yourself under at such speed and in such a way that it gives you cover.
Would I be able to convince you of either stealth or burglary?
Not burglary, definitely. Stealth, if you want the advantage not to be that it's harder to hit you, but that it can't find you, yes.
Okay.
And this is another thing too with this is the skills you can may say, what if I want to try using this skill and here's justification, and sometimes they'll say sure, but it changes like the actual outcome of the action. If you use athletics, you'll be rolling far enough away that you'll either be out of reach or behind something significant. If you're rolling stealth, you're trying to like crawl away in such a way that it has a hard time finding you.
I'm gonna present. I'll roll stealth. I'm gonna present an argument for burglary. My character is willing to break the law if he thinks it can help him get crucial information to solve a case or an important mystery, hence being a well-meaning criminal. But he has experience breaking into locations. That's part of the backstory between him and I'm forgetting a character's name, Doyle. So
right.
my character would, taking like a quick glance, be able to see a small gap between a couple of the crates that he could squeeze himself through to get into this cover, much like he would try to squeeze through like a small window.
I believe that would be a good argument for invoking well-meaning criminal as an aspect to get a +2 or a reroll if you need it. But I believe burglary typically covers like sleight of hand, lock picking, security systems, other vague criminal knowledge. But I mean that would also work if you wanted to do either stealth or athletics, and then invoke that if you need it in order to get a better chance of succeeding.
All right, that's fine. I'll go ahead and roll stealth.
That's not a good roll. It's unfortunate. Would you like to invoke well-meaning criminal?
I feel like I'm gonna have to. Now, we don't know what our objective roll is beforehand, do we? So I don't know if I would need to reroll or a +2 would be fine, correct?
You won't... I can tell you what the difficulty is beforehand. In this case, it would be 2.
I'll just go ahead and add 2 then.
As it's not an incredibly difficult thing to do, and by succeeding normally instead of succeeding with style, there's less of an ability to use it against people. So this is more of a temporary hiding than like really squirreling yourself away in such a way that you can't be found.
Okay. I will do that, and I'll make it prone, hidden behind cover, or hidden
All right.
prone behind cover.
I believe you should be able to change the aspect name yourself, but
I did not pull it out, so I do not have control. But I will pull out a fresh one and rename it.
all right. This is why fate points are important. You're already down to 1.
Better than
All right.
how I had been. At
So-
0.
Yeah. This would have been very bad if you didn't get the refresh.
Yes.
As you both watch Ashton get pulled through the rotting, cracked floorboards of the bridge, and Doyle, you're not sure how you missed this in the initial place, but everything is in terrible condition.
So now all of a sudden my vision has basically cleared up, if you will.
So to speak, yes.
Okay.
It was like, it was nice, beautiful, and somewhat pristine, and then suddenly, it's a shithole.
Silent, who should go next?
I think Doyle should go next. Please save me.
You're picking the preacher over the buff engineer.
Yes, because he has guns.
Fair.
Did you forget about that part?
No, I did not, actually. I was making a joke.
So, alright, I'm going next.
Yes, you can see there's this whole, some sort of large figure down there that just dragged Ashton down, and you see him like roll away and scoot under some like a rack of barrels.
Please
How-
help. Please help.
How much can I see at this moment, if you will? Like,
At the moment, it's not too dark, but it's not bright, and it's darker down there than it is where you are. It is somewhat difficult to see. You could jump down and try and, either accept that, you might get a bit of a shock jumping down and then do something else, or just use your action to make sure that you get down safely. Or just, you have a gun, which is a good narrative reason for you to be able to attack between zones, as long as
Right.
they're, within reason.
Okay, I only get one action, or one action, if you will, right?
Correct.
Just kind of jumping down would be almost like a free action, if you will, but there's a chance I take damage or something.
Right.
Okay.
It's like a 15-foot drop. It's not comfortable, but it's not enough to like terribly hurt you.
All right. So the floor they're on is pretty shadowy. It's a little hard to see, but it's not impossible necessarily to see. Correct?
Right.
All right. I think I'm going to go ahead and from here take one shot. So that is just roll for shoot. Correct?
Correct.
I don't add on any special dice or anything, or
No. This would just be a normal shot.
okay. Okay.
Not a bad shot.
All right.
Now, before anything, I guess, I
Mhm.
don't know how good it is. I could technically try to invoke one of my aspects, such as relationship, to kind of make sure that my aim is true at the very least, so I don't hit Ashton. Correct?
If you can justify it narratively within the aspect. It could be used to be a hired gun, pistol packing creature, etc., just because you're used to using a gun.
Right.
I will tell you now, you tied with the creature's defense.
Okay. Now, is this one of those things where the creature wins when you tie, or?
No, it succeeded at a minor cost.
Okay.
And under, let me check if there's something specific for conflicts. Let's see. Okay, no, in this case it would just do nothing because it ties. And for combat, when you want to, actively harm another character or similar type things, they get to use their stress track. And for every point you beat their defense, they have to fill in that many shifts in the stress or consequences. For you guys, that's all ones in stress, but some things will have stress boxes that have a higher value. This doesn't mean you have to get... This means that it can hold up to that much, rather.
Okay.
So, this is an example, and this is a bit meta. This creature has a physical stress box that's a 2, and it could use that to absorb up to 2 shifts. But once it's used that, it's used. It's not partially used.
Okay.
Similar thing happens with consequences. They each have a value. Stress is typically more like plot armor or close calls, whereas consequences are actual harm and lasting effects.
Right, okay.
Okay.
So, alright.
So if you wanted, you could... Yeah, you could
use
invoke...
used to be a hired gun to say that I'm used to dealing with tracking down other people, shooting through into tough situations, tight situations, dark areas, and whatnot. So I'm familiar with, placing my shot center mass on an object that I might not be able to clearly see, as well as some others. And that would give me I could say a +2, right?
Right.
Alright, so I'll go ahead and try that. I don't know if that's quite a fate point or not, but...
That is a fate point to invoke.
Alright, let's go ahead and do that.
Alright, and that will make him take 2 shifts of physical stress. And you watch as you shoot, and this thing that you can't really see very well, you hit center of mass, it just shoots into it, and there's not really much of a visible reaction. But this thing turns its face up to you, and as you get a better look at it, you can see that the jaw is sort of hanging off a little bit, distended, filled with needly teeth, and covered in blood.
Ooh, boy.
Go ahead and give me a will roll, as this is your first time seeing this creature.
Alright. Did it roll?
No.
I told it to roll. Let's try again. Will.
There
Oh,
it
wait.
is.
There it is. There it is.
There you
Took a
go.
minute.
3.
Okay, unfortunately, that is a failure, and you take a point of corruption.
Oh my god. Come on, dude, it's just a hobo.
Yeah, no, totally just a hobo. Actually, you can spend a fate point for Zealot.
Yes.
Yeah, you have that.
Which would let you resist that corrupting influence.
I'll go ahead and do that, because I don't quite know what corruption does, so...
Alright,
We are both...
a 5 is enough to resist.
We are both at 1 fate point.
Already, yep.
1 round of combat has occurred.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
This is gonna be kind of like that other boss fight we had in Taylor's other game.
Yeah,
Where
Taylor,
it's like,
where's the
"Nope, we're
TNT
just blowing
stored?
ourselves up again.
Where is the TNT stored, Taylor?
Well,
Funny you should ask.
It's in this
You don't
very
know.
room.
you do not know that at this point, actually. That if there was some TNT on board, possibly, someone might be able to create an advantage to search for it, and if they succeeded, there might have conveniently been some form of gunpowder or other flammable substance nearby.
We'll
The narrative is a little flexible.
take a look when it comes back to me.
But I think the only person who has a turn left at this point now is Dell. Dell, you see this whole thing happen. Everything that I've described regarding the other ones you see this creature pull Ashton below decks. You see him roll under some, like a rack of barrels. The preacher pulls out a pistol and shoots this thing, but it doesn't seem to phase it too much.
Now, can Dell get a good look at its face as well?
If he is trying to do anything that requires seeing it. Actually, yeah, no, you're right. As you're seeing this, same as Doyle is, you would also need to make a will roll, Jacob.
Yeah,
Of course.
That's what I was checking, yeah.
This thing is
Alright,
really
let's see
tough.
here.
to
Will.
Yeah, it is.
I've forgotten how to do a will roll.
It's
Open
the
up your
button that says
character
will.
sheet, and there's a will button, and you press it.
I'm trying to find that button, actually.
Then it might be in
There it
Neil.
is.
All
Four.
right, that is
Nice.
just enough to succeed.
Yes!
Okay. I'm gonna drop kick his ass.
15-foot drop kick.
15-foot drop kick. Just literally just jump down with the intention of landing on top of this motherfucker.
World's biggest curb stomp.
Yep. Now, would that be in athletics?
Or fight.
Would you believe how you is there fight?
Fight is a skill, yes.
Yeah.
I never saw it in there, or else I would have taken it.
You can probably make an argument for physique as well.
That too,
No,
yes.
you have a +2 in fight.
Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah, I got fight. I am
Okay.
not 100% tonight, folks. I'm sorry.
Well, we just
So,
spent like
You
what?
could use fight, and I will say, doing this, you can reasonably invoke, like, say, first throw fists, or just a
Oh.
general.
Absolutely.
Right,
Somebody just
but-
got dragged out right in front of me. Fuck this motherfucker. He's up for a fight.
All right, well, go ahead and roll. Let's see how this action turns out.
Average.
Turns out
That
average.
is-
Why is it average? It's
Says
gotta
you
be-
rolled 0, 0, 0, -1.
Motherfucker!
Oh. How much does that make it?
Yeah, that's not a good sound.
No.
Yeah, you jump down.
Well, he can try to re-roll it, right?
You could try to reroll. I will tell you now, though, since there is some meta knowledge involved with this that is fine for the players to have, it would not help.
Oh.
Ow.
Yeah, I'm
Fuck.
probably going to go ahead.
Your
and take
maximum roll would not do damage.
Would it
What
at
the
least
fuck?
knock him back?
Possibly.
Because the big
He
thing right...
rolled very well on his defense.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm not going to waste the point then.
No.
Yeah. No, see, it would not allow you to hurt him, is the main thing. So,
Yeah, the best
You-
I could hope for is if I get a high enough roll to knock him backwards.
right, you jump down, effectively, like, flying dive kick this thing in the chest, and it just sort of staggers a little bit as you do so, but not too much. And as you very deftly sort of like
Roll back.
take the momentum from the kick, jump off of him backwards a bit, skid slightly. You see that there's A, basically no real damage on this thing from that kick, and B, holy crap, what the hell is this?
Oh, chill it, ugly bitch.
All right, so, Dell, you had the last turn in the turn order, so who gets to go first next round?
Repeat that last part one more time, please.
Each round, everyone gets to go. You're the last person to go this round, so you get to pick who goes first next round. Either what makes most narrative sense, or just what works well for what you want the party to have. Either way.
Let's see here. Doyle gets to go first. Use that pistol real fast.
Alright, going to take another shot at this guy. Just gonna go ahead and stay up here and keep shooting down at him.
Alright.
No, it's good again, so... Unless he rolled shitty on his defense.
His defense is currently... a 4.
Yep.
So you'd have to burn your last fate point to hit.
Not... Honestly, at this point here, I'm thinking I'm gonna save that for
Yeah.
a little bit later on. We don't know how much damage we're doing to this thing, unfortunately, so...
Right.
No.
Yeah, again, you look down, you pop another round into this guy, and it doesn't seem to really be affecting you very much.
Yeah. So... Quick question. Can I kind of look around and see what is around me?
You wouldn't know what is around you currently. You are on the bridge. There's a bunch of rotting floorboards. There's some navigation cables, steering wheels, some the communication tubes that they use in a lot of submarines and older Zeppelins.
Alright. Okay, so I have an idea.
All of it in very...
Yeah, that's gonna be it for me for right now.
Alright, who goes next then?
Oh, I'm sorry. In this particular case, I'm going to say Dell.
Alright, Dell. You're here below decks. The kick doesn't seem to have phased the thing. Your shins are still a little jarred just from the impact. It's standing in front of you, seeming to be preparing to attack. Around you, it's slightly shady, but not enough to really provide any sort of cover. There's barrels and crates nearby. What do you want to do?
It doesn't look like there's anything really sharp or whatnot. I'm gonna grab... Okay, so... There are multiple different types of hammers. There's one certain type of hammer called... We pretty much call it a mini sledge. It's literally a very heavy hammerhead on a handle.
Right.
Okay, metallic, everything, heavy as fuck. I'm pulling that out as a weapon from my tool belt because I am never without it.
Alright.
Okay? And I'm gonna try and keep its attention on me. Okay, so I'm still getting in its face, attacking it, you know, making sure that if it's gonna try and hit something, it's gonna try and hit me, since I feel like I can at the very least take the hit.
Okay.
While these other two idiots who use their minds more than their brawn might actually be able to save my ass with something smart. And yes, I know exactly what I said. Here we go.
Alright, well, based on what you described, it sounds like you're trying to provoke it into being distracted by you.
More or less. It's still going to be kind of attacking it, but I can either go with fight,
There is literally a skill called provoke.
provoke. I'm a mediocre at provoke.
Right, but if what you're trying to do is to get it to pay attention to you, that would be provoke.
Alright. Here we... If it'll actually do it. Oh, there it is. Okay, give me a second. Let me just... 1 and 2. Wow!
Oh boy.
Well, it was a mediocre skill to begin with, so I just kind of rolled average here.
Yes. Fortunately, it rolled very poorly on its will to resist your provoke, And it is now distracted by it.
Come on, you big ugly asshole! I'm the one you really want now. Come on! Come on and try and take a swing at me.
I feel like,
Alright, and that was creating an advantage with a contested roll. So now you have the distracted aspect on him.
So he's
Since you've-
distracted?
By you specifically.
Alright,
Other
creating...
people... I already put it up here on the upper left. See,
Alright.
my DM area is the enemy area.
Okay. Oh yeah,
Um,
I see it now.
Yes. So, the way this works then is that other people, now that you've created an advantage, you can let other people invoke it in order to make things that they're doing work better.
There you go.
Does it cost us a fate point to invoke it?
No.
Okay.
And then...
Let me go through the entire...
In this case, it is not going to cost us to invoke that one. You guys just have a distracted monster on the big ol' engineer. While he's holding its attention, you two might be able to actually catch it by surprise and do it some damage.
No. You mean
And in fact, I'm going to mark it on here. Some aspects that you create might be permanent enough that they stick around. Others might be temporary. Either way, when you create an advantage, it comes into being with a free invoke on it that either you or a ally can use. If you succeed with style, you can create it with 2 free invokes. And for some things, taking advantage of the aspect will cause it to lose its potency and go away. Like, if you had gunpowder and you lit it on fire, there would no longer be gunpowder. But doing so, might make doing damage to somebody with fire more likely to happen or more impactful. In this case,
So does-
distracted is sort of in the middle.
Does this have something that can be used on it?
You succeeded, but not with style, so yes, that would also have a free invoke on it. If it actually, if that specific aspect helps you with something, then yes.
It might.
Either way, I do believe that does end my turn, which means
Oh.
Ashton, you're up.
There is one thing I forgot. Since you tied with your attack in the previous round, you get a free boost.
Wait, I tied?
On the, no.
No, Doyle did.
I was gonna say, Doyle tied on his last attack, so he gets a boost.
What's a boost?
A boost is like an aspect, but it's even more temporary. Let's just call this one,
Oh, okay.
let's say that your shot didn't hurt it, but it staggered it a little bit,
Oh, okay.
and that also has a free invoke. A boost, by definition, however, will always go away when it's invoked.
Okay.
Okay. So, who is up, Mr. Hopkins? Is it me or is it the monster?
Oh, you're up next.
Okay.
I just said it too.
Oh, that's right. Because okay, I get why we would possibly want the monster to go. Gotcha. I'm remembering stuff now. I'm kind of
Okay.
like Jacob. Still trying to catch up.
Might not like the results of this, but sure.
So the monster is distracted
And staggered slightly, yes.
and staggered, and I'm hidden behind cover.
Mm-hmm.
Since I'm hidden and I'm behind cover, I'm gonna stay prone behind the cover. And since the monster is distracted, it's hopefully not gonna see me do this. I'm gonna stick my cane between its legs and try to trip it.
All right. Are you trying to trip it in order to cause it to take damage, or to cause it to fall over in the create an advantage sort of way?
To fall over, either create an advantage, or if it's so unfortunate, land on a weak part of the floor and maybe fall through.
Okay. Let's see where you're going with this.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
And now I can choose to invoke these if need be to give myself,
if they're relevant,
like,
yes.
what, a +2?
Per.
Okay. I feel like both of them would be relevant if they're needed.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly
Let's
even the
see.
staggered as well. They might fall backwards.
I think you could reasonably try and do this with stealth or burglary or Zeke. There's
Well-
different approaches you could take to, like, putting your cane out in such a way as to trip it. It's kind of your choice, to be honest. There's a lot
take
of.
your offer of burglary, since that's better than the other two.
All right. Yeah. You're familiar with enough sleight of hand, enough like dirty fighting techniques, and the like that you stick your cane out. Go ahead and roll for it. All right.
That's a 4, and
Hold on. Let me see.
Okay.
And defending against this in this particular circumstance. All the athletics. Okay. Its defense against this is a 3.
I'm going to invoke my hidden prone behind cover to beat it by 3 up.
All right. So you succeed with an added benefit. That no longer has the free invoke on it. And this creature now additionally gets the aspect where it is prone, and that has a 2 free invokes. As you have tripped it and it's fallen backwards, and the wood beneath it starts to groan and crack a little bit. It's, it's not broken through the floor quite, but it is down for the moment.
And it's
And that means
creature's
that
turn.
yes, it's the creature's turn. Okay, and I believe overcome can get rid of an advantage. Let me check. Make sure I'm not doing anything incorrectly.
It
Nah,
was a good
you-
attempt. I mean, maybe you should have invoked distracted as well, so it would go through the floor.
Yeah, it wasn't quite enough for that. But the floor beneath it is weakened. Which makes me want to say, okay.
It was a good thought.
It was. I've got
Staggered.
a similar thought actually up here, but see what
Distracted
happens.
and prone.
Double prone.
Yeah, it's
prone on
very...
its back. It's very prone.
Alright, I'm gonna have it roll. Try and overcome to remove one of the free invokes on that advantage. You did so well knocking it over that it's taking it a moment to stand back up.
It's probably trying to stand back up without, like, breaking the rest of the floor.
Yeah, no, it's smart enough to try and do that. Alright. It's, it's shifted to where you can see it's sort of on one knee almost. And because thematically, story-wise, this continued assault on it makes sense. Dell, it's your turn now.
Ooh.
Okie dokie, so, hold on, is it still prone or did it get up?
It's in the process of getting up. It's slightly staggered. It's distracted by you specifically, but you can see that the floor underneath it is starting to creak and groan and crack a bit.
I'm going to go ahead and while it's trying to get up and prone, I'm going to try and slam my hammer down square on its chest, trying to give at least enough leverage and hopefully enough force to break the floor beneath it and have it fall down to the next floor.
All right.
Possibly
Go
multiple
ahead.
floors, considering this thing is 7 feet tall.
Go ahead and roll physique. Or no, fight rather.
Sorry, already rolled physique.
That's fine. It is a strength rather than a precision thing, so it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So a 3 would not beat its defense of 5.
Oof. Is it enough to still try and force it down to the ground again?
Well, don't forget.
I will say,
you
yeah.
can invoke the fact that it's prone and the fact that it's staggered to have each invoke give +2 to beat it by 2.
That is kind of trying to use that. I was hoping.
Yeah, the invokes would occur like you roll and then you say, "I'm going to invoke this to get the mechanical advantage I need for the story to line up with what I want."
I thought I was already doing that. I apologize.
You usually decide after the roll.
Well, I am invoking the fact that it is prone. I don't think,
All
since
right.
its intention's on me, the distraction won't work for mine.
Not this. It's staggered, as well.
Okay. But yes, as it's prone and staggered right now, I'm trying to use that to my advantage to force it back down on the ground with my own strength. And with the creaking of the floor, hopefully push it through the floor and down to the next floor.
Alright, so you're using
Alright.
both the prone and the staggered.
The stagger, yeah.
Yes.
For
Which makes it so that you have a +4, which gives you a 7.
beats it by 2.
That would be a regular success.
Woo!
No cost. At what you're trying to do. So, I think, yeah, actually, that's enough of a blah 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 differential. Yeah, you knock it through the floor and you hear it as you guys watch and hear as the floor underneath it creaks and groans, and Dell comes up and smacks it with this mini sledge right smack in the middle of its chest as it's getting up, and it pushes back down into the floor again, and it groans a bit more. As Dell, you didn't anticipate this quite,
No.
but this creature falls through, but as you are smacking it in the middle of the chest, the floor around you crumbles as well.
Yeah, I was half expecting that personally.
And you and the creature both fall down into this dark, fetid smelling, uncomfortably moist floor.
Ew. Oh boy.
Gara?
Viscera.
What?
Oh, okay.
Viscera. Organs. Meat. Organic goo.
Gotcha.
And darkness.
This.
Yeah.
Uh,
This creature is currently going to actually put another 2 free invokes on prone, because now it's knocked down and had the wind knocked out of it again.
We are going to stun lock this bitch to victory.
But, hey, sometimes when the enemy's strong enough, creating an advantage is better than attacking it directly, so that you can set up like a combo strike.
Right.
But yeah, as you look around, Dell, you've had the wind knocked out of you a bit as well. But nothing terrible. You're just push yourself up onto your knees and start to get up. But you notice A, it smells terrible.
Oh,
It smells
fuck.
like rot and meat and blood. You can't see this thing, and all you can see really is some faint outlines of some look almost like bones near you, and the light up above.
Oh, great. And I don't see the monster anymore, do I?
No, it's too dark to see more than like a foot or two in any direction at your current location.
This is not good.
And I'm assuming if we look down, we can't see it either.
You can't see it because, well, largely because it's prone, but you can see that there is space down there, and more than seeing, you can also smell that this place down there is not,
It's clearly the hobo's bathroom.
yeah, not a pleasant place to be.
Ashton is next.
Alright.
Okay.
Because I'm probably now at a very big disadvantage.
Looking around the barrels and the crates,
Mm-hmm.
am I able to find, like, a barrel of oil, any rope that seems to be in decent condition?
You can look, and whether you find such things will depend on investigate, I think, will be the one for this.
Okay.
Or notice, your choice.
Investigate. They're both very good. I'll go investigate.
Alright.
Wow, that's
You are able to find some rope. Not sure about the quality of it. One of the barrels has, as you like go around checking the barrels, looking if any of them have any spigots or lids that are easily removable, you find one. It's full of really rancid smelling oil, but it is oil.
Okay. Now,
And
does that
would
take my
be-
turn?
Yes.
Okay.
Because now you have an advantage. Actually, why haven't I been using it?
I have
Advantage are basically aspects.
rope and oil.
Yep.
Don't do me next. Go ahead and do the monster. I'd
if
say.
the two of you are picking up what I'm putting down as an idea,
I think I
Your
have a very
default-
similar idea. So
yeah.
There are now, you now know the location of ropes and oil below deck.
Okay. Creature.
Okay. Let's see.
And Dan, after your next turn, swing it back to me so I can start that process.
that depends, cause I have questions, but we shall see how this works.
All right.
I see
really
what
well
you're
for
doing. I'm lining up something else on my end as well.
Okay.
that. All right. It rolled really well for that, actually, which is going
Darn.
to allow it to get up. So the prone condition goes away,
Ooh.
and it's standing at full height in its larder. It is still distracted by Dell. In fact, it is very angry at Dell for some reason.
I can't imagine why. Why would any giant, abominable creature be angry at something that just pushed it down a floor?
But that is going to take its entire turn.
Okay,
Okay.
that's what I wanted to
who-
use up its turn.
Doyle has not gone yet, correct?
Correct.
That is correct.
Which means you go next.
Okay. So, taking a quick look around, I want to try to find, like, the biggest piece of equipment, like a, helms, brass helms, whatever the heck those things are called. What they would sometimes hold, like the compass or things like that, that's closest to the edge of the hole.
Sorry, but I'm not understanding what you mean.
So on a lot of the old steamer ships and whatnot, you have the steering wheel, if you will, but then you also have other large, heavy components like the housing for the compass or things like that.
Around the steering wheel.
Yes, I'm looking for whatever's closest to the hole that's big, heavy, and would normally be nearly impossible to move except for the fact that the floor is rotted.
Oh, I get where you're going with this.
Just so that I'm on the right page here, and
I'm looking to try to push something down the hole 3 flights and smash onto the thing's head. Yes.
right. The location that you're grabbed through, Ashton, would be decently close to one of the navigator tables if you were able to
Break the floor.
pull that up from its. Well, because on an airship or any sort of ship that would typically be bolted down, but the wood is rotted.
Right.
So if you're able to pull that out of the floor and push it down, it would probably be able to do what you're describing.
All right.
I would argue it would probably also be able to do what he's describing, and I don't know if this would give him an alternative thing to roll. If he broke the floor, like, at the hole that this thing is adjacent to, like, next to the hole, so it just kind of tips itself in, so he doesn't even have to pull it up.
I think that's going to be the same thing no matter what, really.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think either way, that's going to require a feat.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I'm going to kind of first yell down to Dell, or yell down to both, really, as loud as possible.
Watch the fuck out.
Yeah. Dell, Ashton, heads up! Heavy machinery on its way to you! Keep the thing in the hole! And I will try to get to work on kicking that thing over. Fizzy, right?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if I like. No, not really. So submit. 3.
Go.
Okay.
You can't quite get it to full, but you've got it to the point where it's you push, and the wood in the legs and the wood in the floor underneath it starts creaking and snapping, and it's poised to be pushed down, but it's not.
Should I do this, or should I just wait another turn? Heck with it. Can I try to invoke Sees Beauty and Craftsmanship to kind of take a look at how this what did you call it? Navigationer's table is laid out, how the floor is laid out, and kind of get the best angle to really push this thing over so it has the best chance of tilting and cracking through this dilapidated floor.
You know what? Sure. Yeah.
All right, using my last aspect, my last
Last fate point.
fate point, and adding +2 to that.
All right.
I don't know if that'll be enough, but I'm gonna go ahead and give it a try. If not, it'll take another turn.
All right.
I feel like it's something you would know if it's gonna work or not before spending the fate point. Like, you would know how much you missed the difficulty by.
Yeah, I probably should have told you, but no, the fate point is enough to get it to happen. I'm just looking at the. All right, so that's 4 shift. Yeah.
That's something, at least.
It's a start.
So yeah, you start like you've looked at a lot of different furniture and such before. You've been around the other ship. You realize that the way that this is bolted into the wood, even if it's semi-rotten, it'll be better for you to just push it to one side and break the legs than to try and undo the bolting. So that's what you do with a very heavy shove, and it starts to creak and groan and tilt. And I'm going to say I'm going to actually additionally use up the free invoke on Distracted because it's not defending itself.
Okay.
7.
That's fair,
Even more.
actually, too. Yes, I'm kind of counting on the fact that it is distracted.
So as this thing gets up, sort of growls and starts moving towards Dell, a navigation table comes from 2 stories above and smashes into its head.
So is it now pinned on the floor by the navigation table again?
No, but you could see that. Well, you can't really see because it's dark, but you can see that it got a very direct hit on the thing, and it seems to be somewhat
Concussed.
slowed down.
Woohoo! I can't tell exactly what I did, but you know what? I'm assuming it was good.
You didn't hear Dell cry in pain, and that's a good
Yes.
sign.
Yes,
All
that
right.
is. There are 2 victories here. Dell did not scream in pain, and it certainly sounded like we hit the monster.
The hobo.
Okay, Doyle, who gets the first turn of the next round? You can choose yourself, by the way.
Oh yes, this is the next turn, huh?
Next round,
Hmm. I'm going to. We don't really know what the monster is doing, and we want to try to maybe get Dell out of there. Is my thought. I'm going to say first Ashton.
Okay.
All right.
Knowing where this rope and the oil is,
Mm-hmm.
would I be able to?
We'll also say you're probably no longer hidden prone behind cover.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not hidden prone behind cover anymore now. Would I be able to, like, grab the rope and start tying it off on something while I kick the barrel down? At where this table just fell?
A, probably one or the other. B, I'm just, again, so I'm on the same page as you. Why are you tying rope off on something? Just to go down and rescue Dell, or?
Going to the narrative plan is I found this oil. I have this rope. We're gonna tie the rope off on something and toss it down so Dell can start climbing out and kick this barrel down, and then I'm gonna toss a match.
Okay, you can do one of those 2 things.
I would say get Dell out first.
Yeah.
Before you start lighting fires where Dell is.
Yeah.
That
I'm
is
gonna tie the rope off, and like I'm gonna be holding on to it as well, just in case whatever I tie it off on isn't quite sturdy enough, and be in position to kick the barrel on a future turn and call down to Dell. I would suggest grabbing the rope and beginning to climb up.
Yeah, not a bad idea. I don't like this at all.
All right, so actually, no, before we create the advantage, you do need to roll, let's say burglary. You'll probably pass, but I'm
Okay.
just getting ahead of myself in prep work. So currently the rope is up
Oh
here.
gosh.
I mean, it's probably fine. You're pretty sure this
Oh,
is a sturdy knot. and you toss the rope
and
down.
I'm also holding it. I'm holding it in case
Yes.
something goes wrong. So
All right.
this is fine.
Who goes next? Silent.
Sorry, Dell. I'm gonna say the creature so it can't double action Dell.
I mean, honestly, I don't entirely disagree with that.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only thing it's got right now. It's hiding in darkness.
Yeah. Creature, so
Alright.
it's a creature, so it can't double action us.
Alrighty. Dell. This thing is not happy.
Oh no, I don't think it would be.
You're with a very angry hobo in his toilet.
Oh
It
my
is going
god,
to
why?
Because I'm good at deceiving people, including myself.
attempt to attack you. Give me a. How are you? It's going to turn towards you, sniff the air a bit, and then like lock onto you and start walking over. And it's going to reach out to grab you and scratch you with one of its clawed hands. What do you do in response to that?
It sniffed the air before coming towards me.
Yes.
Does it have eyes, out of curiosity?
Yes,
Can't tell.
it does in fact have eyes, and it has
Okay.
a roughly humanoid face, but it is dark down here.
True. I'm just gonna try and use my athletics just to kind of try and duck around its swinging grass, try to get around behind it.
All right, go and roll athletics then.
Fair.
All right, it is going to invoke one of its own aspects.
Uh-oh.
Its monstrous instinct in that it hungers for human flesh.
Oh, great.
And since this is invoking something that is harming you directly, I'm going to give you an extra fate point.
Yay.
Hey, it's something.
And let's see. Successful. Yes. Okay. So that makes in total you take 4 shifts of physical stress.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Ouch.
Yep. As you try and dodge, and it seems to notice what you're doing in the faint light, and shifts itself and just jabs through your shoulder with one of its claws. Actually, no. I'm narrating this wrong. Physical stress is like plot armor. You barely manage to duck as it scratches across your collarbone. It creates a laceration that's deep and it hurts, but it could have been so much worse if you had been like an inch or two slower.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then, naturally, it's going to be Dell's turn.
Seems about right to me.
Oh, boy. So,
Climb,
my turn now,
motherfucker.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, time to climb.
Climb!
Yeah, I am going to just straight up duck this bitch and get on the rope, start climbing quick as I can, despite the wound in my shoulder, which hurts like a motherfucker.
It's
Oh.
bleeding and it hurts, but it's nothing serious at the moment. Go and roll either athletics or
Would physique
Physique.
work?
yeah.
Thank you! It's good! Why is it only good? Why?
All right, you are able to climb up the rope very quickly, gritting your teeth through the pain, and get up to the edge of this hole. However, the knot wasn't very strong. Ashton, go ahead and roll me physique.
Oh,
Great.
no.
Good!
Oh my god!
0
Yeah,
plus
it's-
plus plus.
Yeah, you normally aren't a very strong person, but you grit your teeth as you feel the rope starting to get taut, and you physically see the knot starting to come undone a bit. You grit your teeth, the adrenaline kicks in, and you manage to keep it together enough. Dell is currently
I just got ripped
on
through
the
the
edge of the
floor
hole.
and tripped a hobo. I have so much adrenaline.
Yeah.
So
So
I'm now up a floor.
yeah, you are at the edge of the hole, but you are currently on the area above the creature. And I think that naturally ends up leaving it as Doyle's turn.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Well, Dell was the
So-
last one in the round, yeah?
I thought Dan / Doyle selected you to be the first in the round.
Yes.
Ah,
And then
okay.
the creature, the ghoul, and then Dell,
My
and
mistake.
now it will be Doyle again.
I would have given it to Dell first then, but that's fine. I thought the creature was the only one left.
Yeah, no, it's still a viable strategy that you want it to move somewhere in the middle of the turn order so it doesn't double up.
Yeah.
Not as critical in that moment. Still.
All right.
Sorry, Dell.
So it is my turn.
Yes.
All right. And Dell is on his way up to second deck. I'm going to once again start looking for something else big and heavy to throw down the hole. As soon as the creature starts coming back up.
The hole that Dell has either just finished or is in the process of climbing up.
If I find something
Yeah,
that's a little bit further away, I'm going to start getting to work on loosening it and dragging it to the hole.
Okay. Yeah, there's other things. Go ahead and roll me crafts for trying to unfasten something, because there's nothing else that's right next to the hole.
Okay. Well, I mean, can I argue for physique, as I'm kind of more so just adrenaline rushing and trying to rip things out?
Sure.
Sweet. There we go.
Nice.
That's a good
Okay.
roll right there.
So you run over to the first big, heavy-looking thing you can find, which is the steering assembly,
Okay.
and you yank on it. And with the adrenaline, you stagger a little bit as it comes completely free with some of the floorboards around it.
Perfect.
You're dragging just the entire steering column of the ship that got pulled out of all of the things it was connected to because everything is terribly rotten. You're just, ah!
I'll take it, all of it.
Let's see.
All right.
Let's give you an advantage. Steering assembly.
That's a hell of an advantage.
That works.
Yes.
And it has 2 free invokes on it because you did very well with that roll.
Woohoo!
Very
Nice.
nice.
All right. So you're the last person in the order again. Who goes first in the next round?
Good lord. I'm I'm gonna say, should I? Okay, so what was the situation between Ashton and Dell here?
Ashton is holding onto a rope and is near a barrel of oil. Dell has just climbed up a rope and is like on the edge of the hole in the floor that they're on.
Dell's first. Dell is definitely first. First Dell.
Yeah,
Dell.
get all the way up. Get off the fucking rope.
That's why I asked. I needed to know where everybody was.
Yeah. Dell?
Jacob.
Sorry
No,
about
He's
What's
already been
that?
grabbed by the monster. He's dead.
It's your turn.
We were
You are
too
on
late.
the edge of the hole. They want
Oh,
you
I'm
to...
climbing up. I'm getting on
Yeah.
that floor.
Yeah, no. Okay, so you're more solidly on the floor now. Is there
Uh-huh.
anything else you want to do?
Is that monster about getting ready to come up after me?
You want to look? See if
I
it
am
is?
taking a quick peek.
It's looking up at you. You can't really tell what it's planning on doing.
Okay,
Can-
what's around me again? Anything good and
barrels.
heavy?
Do we have the ability
Crates.
to, like, free action talk?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna look at him as he's finished climbing up and he's, like, peeking down the hole. I'm gonna, like, kick the barrel that my foot is against and be like, throw this at the monster! Can you toss this down, please?
With pleasure. Straight up lift the barrel up and chunk it down.
All right. Oop. Physique. Again.
Oh, come on, game! Okay, I seriously think Roll20 has it out against me.
And-
You can invoke, like, hardworking or something, right?
Actually, hold on a moment. Yes, I can. I want to invoke hardworking, okay? This is in my wheelhouse. I'm used to lifting. I'm used to working. And right now, my main focus on getting the job done is knocking this motherfucking ghoul on its knees and kicking it out. Okay? I will spend a point to be able to knock this up a bit.
All right. That will put it back to me, though. Okay.
That's fine.
There is now a ghoul covered in oil.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I suggest we find a
So-
door quickly.
This oil is now on the ghoul. The barrel itself doesn't seem to have done much damage, but it is dripping with this, like, semi-rancid oil.
Oh yeah. Out of curiosity, does my tool belt include a lighter?
You would have, given the time period, probably.
Good.
But if you wanted to throw it, that would be a different turn.
No, I know. I know.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so who is going
Oh,
next?
Ashton.
Alright, doing a quick glance around. Where's the nearest fucking door?
From what you can see, probably about 20 to 30 feet away. Looks like it's probably either an external exit or a stairway up to the bridge.
Right. Mr. Hopkins, I suggest we make haste to the door as I strike a match and toss it in the hole at the creature.
All right. You know what? Just since it's a throwing style thing, roll me shoot real quick. Just as a measure of your aim.
Okay.
All right. Okay, yeah, you guys booking it for the door?
Booking it for the door.
Do we see it start to catch on fire?
You see something lighting on fire.
Perfect, let's leave. I will begin hauling ass to the door.
All right.
Dell can confirm if it's the creature or just the adjacent oil going towards the creature.
I just got hit by this motherfucker. I'm leaving with you.
All right. Ashton, who goes next? Doyle or the ghoul?
Doyle.
Doyle, yeah. Throw that fucking thing down and pin this thing to the floor.
I can't do like a hold action, can I?
No.
Darn.
It's kind of the whole reason for the popcorn initiative is that you can set up stuff like that, but there's no hold action.
If you throw that down, he could throw it down to create an advantage to make this thing prone or pinned rather than attacking with it, right?
Yes, or he could attack with it and hope that he succeeds with enough, that he has a high enough success that it does something similar.
Probably
All right.
safer,
Well,
honest.
actually, with the fire, there is fire now, right?
There's no light.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lancing
There's
down, can I
something?
see
Yeah,
the silhouette of the creature at the very least?
yeah. It's like right next to the fires. The fire is spreading, so just not super slowly, but in the moment, it's spreading across the floor.
Okay, and and I can see the silhouette of the creature for this, at least to some extent.
Right.
Okay. Yep, I'll go ahead and try to. The fire's not on the creature. Doesn't seem like it. It seems like it's going towards the creature. I assume, correct?
That would be the impression you get. Yes.
Okay. So trying to use all of these advantages, I am going to go ahead and throw this heavy ass steering wheel housing as well as half the bridge floor down at this thing.
Right. So as this is a very heavy object, instead of being like just a throw for accuracy, you're practically lifting and dropping this, so it's gonna be physique.
All right, cool, awesome. Here I go, and I'm using up at whatever advantages I can find. So,
Oh yeah.
please be a decent roll at least. Oh, fuck you.
Well, with the free invokes on the steering assembly, that is +5.
All right. Can I use the distracted as well?
It was distracted by Dell. Dell's not there. I don't think narratively
Is it
makes
distracted
sense.
by it being on fire?
No,
It's not on
yet.
fire yet.
Would he be able to invoke the fact that it and the floor around it is covered in oil, so it's harder for it to dodge?
No.
All right,
Because
all
he
right,
has no fate points.
We've milked this for all it's worth, guys. It's okay.
Yeah. You can compel an aspect of the enemy, but that requires a fate point.
Right. And I don't have any fate points. Somebody could give me a fate point, but I don't have any fate points.
I don't think you can give people fate points.
You said something about like we can trade fate points, but you have to do something in order to do it.
I think it was something like invoking an ability against another player.
Yes.
Something.
If you compel someone else's aspect, you give them a fate point, whether it's the
Right.
enemy or another player. Right. But
Come on.
5 does succeed with style.
Yeah.
So as you guys are booking it,
Right.
as you're booking it over, Dell's just glancing back. Dell, you see the entire freaking steering column and some other ancillary like pipes or something underneath it just fall out of the sky, hit this thing like through its neck and pin it to the ground, and it finishes catching on fire and starts screaming this awful, ungodly wail.
And that's our cue to get out. Gentlemen, now let's go.
And
Let's
it also
leave.
smells terrible. Rancid oil setting viscera on fire.
Yeah.
There's very acrid black smoke starting to come up. But yes, the ghoul is lay dead.
Yay!
So we're gonna run.
yeah.
Oh, we're out of here. I'm not salvaging anything from this wreckage.
There's nothing to salvage.
We're gonna
I think
run
there's
and
nothing
try
to
to get
salvage
off
here.
the ship, like
Uh-huh.
now.
In total agreement there.
Right. That being said, hold on.
Well, the entire ship is catching fire, probably. Because it is all very dead, very dry wood.
Let me just clear all this up. Here. Yes. You now have a entirely different kind of challenge upon you.
I do have a map.
Yes, challenge rather than a conflict. You do know how to get out, but this is more of a how quickly can you get out without
Getting caught up in the fire.
getting
Yeah.
caught up in the fire effectively. Yes. So, what skills contribute to this?
As
I
we
think
as we kick through the door, are there any like glass pane windows?
not in the door you're kicking through.
Like on the other side of it, there are no like glass windows.
No, there's a stairwell leading up to the bridge.
Are there glass windows in the bridge?
Yes.
If I yell really loud, shoot out the windows, can Doyle hear me?
Probably.
Please shoot out the windows.
All right. So let's start with that.
Yes.
Doyle, roll shoot.
Okay.
If he chooses to.
Well, I'm not on the
Yeah.
same floor as them, though.
No,
They're coming up the stairs into the bridge.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
You
okay,
hear
okay.
like footsteps climbing stairs, and then Ashton yelling, "Shoot the fucking windows!"
I mean, I was gonna like, I was assuming that these windows were not that in good shape, so I was just gonna kind of jump through them. But all right, sure. I blast whatever window is closest that seems the most solid,
All right. Yeah, you
and
get most
ignore
of
the other 3 windows that are already broken.
No, the windows aren't broken, but they're old glass. You manage to shoot through one and just shatters the entire thing out with a couple of jagged edges on the sides, but nothing really in the way of what I think y'all might be aiming for.
I used my pistol to kind of like bat down some of those sharp edges on the bottom and the sides real quickly.
All right. So yes, as I think, if I'm picking up what Silent's pointing down here, the bridge
Fucking
is
jump.
basically next to the edge of the boat, or at least close enough that you may be able to jump across into the water.
Fucking jump.
Jump sideways and try and dive into the water. So everyone, give me an athletics roll.
Fair enough.
I'm
Alright, here
great
we
at
go.
this.
Average.
Oh, 2. Yay.
I would like to stop rolling just zeros, plus, and negative. Just one of plus, one of negative, and then a bunch of zeros. It's like, stop it! Give me more!
Yeah, this was
All
either
right.
gonna go one of 2 ways. I was gonna get like a fair and have like a decent jump, or I was gonna get like a -2 and like crash to the deck below.
All right. Doyle, as the only one that rolled an average, you do sort of like clip the deck railing. Go ahead and
Yep.
give me a physique roll.
Okay. I dive in with style.
You don't dive in with style, but you do manage to shrug off the impact of the railing as you're like tumbling head over heel to the side from your own momentum into the water. And then everyone give me another, let's say, actually, let me look. Maybe just a physique check to see how far you get before the
Explosion?
well, yes.
Oh my gosh, again! My modifier is the only thing I am getting out of these rolls. Please,
Well, that's
give
why
me
you have a
something.
modifier.
Uh-huh.
It's your average. And it's a very nice normal curve average, which means most of the time you get what your score is.
Oh.
That's why the scores are important.
Yeah.
Dell, roll me physique.
Jacob.
God damn it!
So it's okay.
Wow.
The 2 of us had good jumps.
Well, I will say, You could also invoke hardworking for this as just its general like muscle conditioning and re-roll that because that is terrible.
It's
A little
one.
better.
Wow. Okay.
Can we retcon and say he just gave himself a +2?
Uh,
Guessing no. But
okay. So Doyle manages to outswim you guys. You guys are both paddling in the water, trying to get away from the boat. You hear almost a hissing noise. As unknown to you, there were gunpowder stores in this ship. It's not on the side you're on, but the fire spread to it, and it does create a sort of a wave of force as splinters go flying everywhere. There's a wave in the water that pushes against you. You're a bit too close, though, as Ashton and Dell both take one shift of physical stress.
I only have one left.
I only have 3 in total, so.
Well, stop taking physical stress then.
I only took that one. I spent most of that fight hiding, tripping, and setting fire to the ship.
Hiding was the right choice because it might have just straight up started getting consequences for you otherwise.
Yeah.
But after that initial explosion, there's a little bit of a draw back as the water floods back into the area where the ship is collapsing and parts of it are still burning, and you do get away, but it tires you out. You get back to the shore. You're all mostly exhausted, very wet, and a little or a lot freaked out, depending on how you want to feel about things.
I mean, I feel bad,
Right.
but I mean that hobo attacked us.
Yeah.
That was no hobo. Whatever the fuck that thing was, it was not even human.
I didn't get.
How
I didn't
good
get
is
quite
Ashton at his bullshit?
Very. I didn't
It's
get.
literally a defining trait of his character.
Yes. I didn't get quite a good enough look at it. I guess then I got pulled through the deck and hid to get away. Which I will say if that was some kind of unearthly creature or beast, it's a good thing I did, right? I would never have found that rope or that oil.
Why is it every time you guys have a problem, it's just destroy everything?
Because that's the
works.
right solution.
That is fair.
One moment, guys.
Y'all, I just, okay, this is kind of my fault for saying for coming up with a ship that had gunpowder stores, but seriously, stop making things blow up. Actually, don't. It's really cool.
This time here, to be fair, we did not blow ourselves up.
Yeah, this time we survived the
Yes.
explosion.
Side note, you're pretty sure that was audible from a good distance away.
Oh, I bet. Come
Doyle,
on.
when he gets to the ground, like, or Doyle's response to this whole thing is, monster, really messed up hobo, I don't know which, whatever it is, it wasn't good, it was pure evil. Either way,
Speaking of which,
good thing it's dead.
Let's-
I'm gonna pull out my revolver and start reloading it.
Yes, please. You are raising some
Roll.
unfortunate flags.
roll will.
Oh god,
Two.
Dale, and I'm all out of
All of
Doyle.
us?
Alright.
Oh.
Just Doyle.
Fair.
You have run across descriptions of things like this. You didn't really get a good enough look at it to be certain, but you are 100% sure this was some unearthly entity of evil. Even looking at it made your mind and soul burn. Not
How
a
would
lot,
that
but a little bit.
Well, let me see here.
It is something that you know should not be. From your readings, like the things you've read about supernatural entities, demons, other mythological creatures, you're not sure. You didn't get a good enough look at it, but whatever this thing was took way more punishment than a person, and it was noticeably wrong.
If that was just a mere hobo, I know Mr. Dell here will think me a little on the kooky side.
No.
It was at the very least possessed by some unearthly evil.
Now,
See,
if only we had,
in this case,
if only we
in
had,
this case, sir.
You both of you, hold up. Ashton, Dell, stop right there. Dell, you go ahead and go first this time.
Yes.
Sorry, I had to.
No, that's fine. I was just laughing at the fact that we both started talking, and then we both stopped, and then we both started talking again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good lord.
Go ahead, Jacob.
In this case, Reverend, seeing's kind of believing. I'm not gonna argue with that one this time around. Look, let's get back over towards the camp. I hate to think it, but if that thing is inside that old wreck, I hate to think about what else might be on the island.
Last bullet clicks in.
If it was,
Slam the cylinder shut. Cock the hammer back. I agree.
if it was possessed, it's unfortunate that we didn't have a little bit more time to prepare. I could have exercised whatever evil was within it.
Doyle will give you that raised eyebrow look for that one.
How about we not get ahead of ourselves and just get back to camp?
Agreed, and quickly. I would hate to think of something happening to the rest of the crew.
Yeah, nothing's gonna happen. Y'all
They're
are being
all
paranoid for
dead.
some reason.
I
Already.
can hear the GM smiling.
Nothing.
Yeah, that was drippy.
Here's the
With a
thing.
grin.
You have to listen to what the GM is saying. He's saying nothing's going to happen to them because something already did.
Exactly! Like I said, that grin was dripping, and that drip is NPC blood.
Oh, yes.
yes.
Definitely.
All right, so you guys do decide to start heading back to the ship camp of the ship you originally arrived in.
In all
Yes.
due haste, yes, please.
Yes. Okay.
Kind of jogging almost.
Yeah, you guys get back at like 10 minutes because you're not taking your time. You're not looking around. You're just getting back. As you get back, you see that
I will say, as we're heading back,
Mhm.
can I make a notice check to just try to see if I notice like anything else like moving around us?
Sure.
Meh.
You do not notice anything else in the mist moving around.
Okay.
You get back to the camp. You see there's some commotion. Jonathan is trying to calm some people down. Madame Worley turns and sees you, rushes up. What exactly was that about? Were you the ones that came from that direction, I think, yes? What did you do?
Well,
We blew
this
up,
apparently wasn't the first Icarus.
we blew up the other Icarus.
I'm sorry. You'll have to repeat that. What?
We blew up the other Icarus.
There is no
Yes.
other Icarus. This is
Oh, there's the
the
one.
first ship of its kind.
Well, there's no other Icarus now. There was the other one, and then we blew it up.
Ashton, can I please speak with my coworker?
Yes, of course, Mr. Hopkins.
Thank you. Unfortunately, unless we're in some weird situation in this island, we did find another airship named the Icarus. And that explosion was us blowing it up because in that airship we were attacked by some ungodly creature, and I've got the wound to show for it. We have any spare dressing?
Of course. And she actually like sits you down and starts to stitch it up while you're talking. But apologies, this will sting a bit. That should be impossible. I'm fairly certain we'd have heard if there was another ship.
That's my thoughts exactly when I first saw the ship myself and saw the name on the plate. But it was the Icarus, but there's more weirdness going on here. I saw a dilapidated ship, while these two gentlemen who found it first saw it in much more salvageable condition, at least up until we were attacked.
That is correct. It also seemed to be inhabited by something that attacked us, whether it was some unearthly creature, some survivor of the crash, possessed by evil. We aren't quite sure, but it was
I got
quite
a good
strong,
look.
quite durable.
Yeah, it took a hammer strike from me full blow without even wincing.
It was living on the ship, which draws concern to what might be deeper into the island. I would feel more comfortable, I believe, if we set up our camp on the beach where we had vision.
Oh, I honestly think that we can get decent enough vision with somebody on the decks of the wreckage, but you mean to tell me that you encountered some creature possessed by or just evil in and of itself, and your response was to trigger an explosion that could attract any other possible things?
To be honest, the explosion was a side effect.
Uh,
Well, during the fight, we dropped a barrel of old rancid oil on top of it and lit it on fire before it got pinned under the steering column.
Wait,
yes,
rancid oil. How long had this been here then?
To the best of my guesstimation, looking at it, well over 10 years.
I think Taylor, you said like roughly like we aged it to the 20s.
I thought
10
we
to
found
20.
I thought we found a.
We found
diary.
Something that mentioned it was like in like
Yeah.
the
1920s, and we're in the
1920s, and we're in the 60s.
Ah, no. Actually, the current year is 1894.
Oh, so it was
Oh, I'm sorry.
1820.
Yeah, I'm sorry. 1820s. 1820s, and we're
So,
in...
you're correct. I said 1920.
Okay. Was it actually supposed to be 1820?
No.
Okay.
So this one was
this
supposed to us
thing
technically
has
from the future.
this thing has
Yeah.
been
Oh,
here
God.
since 1920.
What? That can't be right. It's still 1890. What year was it again?
Was it
1894.
on the map
It's
that I found that?
1894.
Yes. It said.
I pull out the map and show it to him.
Yeah, it says, "Welcome to the Icarus, the first ship of its kind," and it's got like a little brochure type introductory paragraph along with the date at the bottom for like copyright and a map of the interior, which is distinctively different from your Icarus.
So this thing was from in 30 years from now.
The hell? Completely missed that part when you showed me the map earlier.
That's
Like I said, I have no reasons to lie on any of this. That is literally what we found.
No, I
Even
believe
I'm
you,
in
but
disbelief over it.
it's a lot to digest and a lot to be concerned about. Perhaps
I
we
think
should set up some lookouts and make sure everyone is in the ship.
I feel it might be.
nobody goes without a partner. That's for certain. Nobody travels alone.
I would agree. I believe the buddy system is in our best interest. I also might suggest, before it is completely dark, we salvage some dry wood from the ship and set out some fires in a radius on the beach. So if anything is approaching us, we can see it early. Or at least whoever is on lookout can, and give us a fair heads up.
I'd say that would be something that would give away our position, but considering you just created a very large sound nearby, that's probably not something that we...
To be fair, are there any weapons on the ship, by chance, Miss,
This is Madame Worley.
would I know who that is?
She's the head nurse of the infirmary.
So no. Miss, I'm sorry, I don't know your name.
Actually, that's on me. Gentlemen, this is Miss Worley. She's the head nurse of the ship. Miss Worley, I gotta pull up here. This is Ashton Marshall and Reverend Doyle Bell. I believe Ashton was they were both in the dance hall with the rest of the guests when the ship was going down. Both of them were pivotal in helping everyone keep a level head.
Right.
So I feel, though, that getting any kind of heads up, even if it might give away our position, might be beneficial. Whatever this was, we shot it twice, dropped a navigation table on it from 30 feet up, dropped a steering column on it, and lit it on fire. And it was still alive.
I'll be very honest. I don't even know that explosion I don't even know if that explosion killed it or not.
Yeah, y'all never checked for a body.
No, we were running.
We made our way back over here as soon as we got off the ship.
We ran the fuck away, and it was the right call.
I believe there might have been some weapons on the ship, but any security personnel unfortunately did not make it to the crash, at least not here.
Well, if we at the very least, if we know where security was located on the ship, we should be able to.
Would my character know as being one of the people who helped in the architecture and building of the ship?
You wouldn't know where it is.
Probably.
Go ahead and roll resources.
The staff wouldn't know where security office is?
Oh, you know where it is. I'm just having him roll resources for a different reason.
Okay.
Oh, fuck me!
So
That wound did a lot more than I expected.
you might
right,
want to
yeah,
re-roll
you-
that.
Yeah, no, that's very bad.
You might want to burn a fate point as the head engineer of the
All
ship.
right,
to
all right,
re-roll
all
it.
right. I will definitely 100% re-roll that. For some reason, I cannot touch those other two. So, can you please remove one for me?
Taylor dragged him out. You didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, yes. Boop.
And submit. Much better.
It's better.
Much better.
It's above 0.
Yes.
Yes, okay. So,
Oh, we're
as
fucked.
you guide your party and Madame Morley and a few others to the location of the security office, not only are you able to use, you're the head engineer, you'd have keys to different areas on your tool belt. You have a key to this room. And as you open it, it is thankfully not mostly lost in the crash and is in fact largely intact. You have access to a decent amount of ammunition, a couple of rifles, and a good number of pistols. You can equip some of the other survivors with, or yourself.
I think it's about time. Have we addressed any of the guests or the crew about the situation yet?
Forgive me, I believe it might be best to keep this information closed within our current group and those members of staff who are most reliable and trustworthy. That we wouldn't want to cause a panic among the people.
But we do need to let the people know that there is danger. They already know there is some danger due to a massive explosion and seeing Dell come back already beat up. Either you and I did that to him while we were away,
I feel like we
or
could probably,
something else has attacked him.
well, we could probably pass that off as some kind of animal wound. Is that correct?
Madam Morley.
Yes?
Well, I don't exactly agree with the supernatural that they sometimes tout. They do know how to keep the guests calm. Okay, would you agree in letting Ashton and the Reverend talk with the guests while you and I talk with the staff?
And I suppose that's fine. Bit of a certainly an odd situation. Yes, if you two could help keep the guests calm and somehow at the same time let them know to be on the lookout for things, we can try and see about briefing the staff in case we need to defend ourselves.
Yeah. And of course, we'll need at least a couple staff members on a watch or something. On a rotating schedule. I know we're already shorthanded as is, but the sooner we're off this island on whatever Jonathan and I can put together, the better.
Might I recommend also seeing about holding on to guns until we find out who has any experience with them?
I do not, but I would be open to instruction.
I can give you a couple of the basics at the very least.
I
But
appreciate that,
that's what I
Reverend.
mean. It'd be good for us to find out if anybody has any prior service records. Law enforcement, military, anything like that.
You two check with the guests. Reverend, I trust your eyes since you're with that skill with that revolver of yours.
I have a cane and I want protection.
This is Silence Brain going,
revolver.
holy
but-
crap, it's really easy to die.
I knew it was
Adam and I
easy
will
to
check.
die, and I knew what I was getting into when I built a social encounter-based character. Please give me a gun.
Here's the thing, okay? And you know, I'll be Doyle for this. Oh, but before, and I grab two of the revolvers, assuming there are at least two of them, and I hand.
There's more than two.
Okay.
revolvers.
I hand one to Ashton and one to Dell. At the very least, it's a good idea for those who are aware of all the dangers to have some sort of protection on them. And I grab like handfuls of ammunition and of the revolver types and handed that to them as well.
Barely had any training with one of these things. I hate them, but I see what you.
I see Taylor appreciates that.
That is
My
just
shoot is mediocre.
yeah. No, there's
AKA barely any training.
yeah. No, I'm just laughing at Silent putting that aspect of like that advantage on himself. You don't need to. That's just like a story fact right now. But yes, you have a gun.
Bitch, I got a gun.
And ammo.
And ammo.
Yes.
And after Dell starts walking off to go dress the crew, I'll turn to Ashton.
I'll keep that space open.
Mr. Marshall, if I might have a moment.
Yes, of course.
I understand what you're saying about concerns of panic, and I share your concerns. Even so, hiding all the truth from the people has in past histories certainly led to the exact thing people sometimes try to avoid. It is not unwise to pick and choose what details to give them,
I
but we
feel
should definitely inform them that there is danger here.
I feel the best option may in fact be to simply say we're not exactly sure what all is on the island. There may be dangerous wildlife. If we need to, we could present it as potentially hostile natives.
I think the hostile natives might be a better option, along with the potential wildlife as well. That is my 2 pence.
No, I agree. I feel like that would be the most prudent course of action. I feel we should probably. I actually agree with Mr. Hopkins. I feel like we should pull back onto the ship rather than being out on the beach in the open. We're not entirely sure that thing is dead, or if it can swim. Do you feel it? I feel it might be prudent to keep watch on the ship as well, near any of the parts that are submerged and open to the outside.
A tough call to make, but no matter what, we're going to be struggling here.
We're a bit short-handed to keep watch everywhere.
Exactly. Best you can do is try to get everybody into one area and watch all entrances from there. The only problem is that in my line of work, sometimes that's makes life even easier for the predator. Kind of looks off, looks dead-eyed at nothing, just staring at a wall, basically, almost. Eyes go a little bit hazy.
I'm clapping on the shoulder. I feel like as long as we have at least 1 or 2 people keeping watch out onto the shore, 1 or 2 people inside keeping watch away from whatever central location we end up camping in the ship. At the very worst, we'd have some kind of advanced warning.
Agreed.
That might be the best we can hope for.
Indeed. Alright, shall we go and address the rest of the passengers? I'll let you do the talking.
I feel like that
in
would be
this
our
case.
best course of action, yes.
I'll let you do the talking in this particular case. They see a reverend standing with you. Some people will feel a little bit more at ease, usually.
Do you feel like we should
And I kind
have
of close my jacket then to hide the revolver as well.
Do you feel like we should have at least 1 or 2 of the members of the crew with us as well? That way they know we speak for the staff.
I'd prefer having a member of the crew, but with Dell and Miss Orley taking care of the crew, we'll have to make do with us for right now.
Alright, well, let's go.
All right. Jacob, meanwhile, Dell and Madame Morley
Gathering up
collect some of the staff and debrief them. Is there anything particular you want to say or do in that, or is that sort of vague description good enough?
that sort of vague description will work. However, for one, I'm going to get a progress from Johnny on stripping parts from the ship to make some type of smaller boat or raft with a smaller steam engine to push us along. Find out where we are on that as well.
Asking him, it seems like they've spent most of the day organizing, people getting supplies moved into a very, area that they're sure is sturdy and defensible just in case.
Good.
Getting beds set up, getting other amenities well enough set up for everyone to just sort of, have the basics of living.
No, that's good. That's actually, I'm glad they prioritized that to make sure that everybody, we can get ourselves set up safe. We start
at the moment, a good, not all, but a decent amount of the supplies are in the ensign's room directly beneath the bridge. In addition to having set up facilities for like bathing, toilet, etc., so that people aren't just completely out in the open and completely without the ability to take care of themselves. But that's about as much progress he's had. He does mention that having looked around the ship while they were doing this, he's not sure how much is, re-salvageable without messing with the current amenities, because parts of those are hooked up to things driven by the steam engine. But at least for the moment, people are relatively well taken care of. Most of the supplies that they want for the immediate future are there. And like they have not yet started any sort of, active survey of parts or anything like that.
No, that's fine. Once we get everything set up for safety, we can take a short rest and then get started. I want to try and get this as much as safety is concerned. We definitely want to get off this island and back towards England as soon as possible. England was where we shipped out from, right?
Yes.
Good.
All right. And, okay, back to Ashton and Doyle. What are you guys, you go out, you try to address, actually, as you go out, you find out that a lot of people, as it's leading towards evening-ish time, are sort of trickling back into the ship. And this is when you're made aware of this circumstance that's been set up by the staff and the people remaining who are able to. They've got cots, beds, food, water, basic amenities run by the ship's power, that sort of thing. What do you try and tell everyone? Roughly what you'd already said about there being, possibly dangerous animals or natives nearby. Or do you tell them more or less? Something else?
Ladies and gentlemen, I first gather everyone up in the main area with the Reverend. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a update from the crew, from our little bit of exploration that the Reverend and myself did earlier. The crew has been hard at work securing the necessary amenities for our continued stay until such time as they've been able to finish preparing a way for us to leave. They are in the process of that. In the meantime, we would ask that folks stay to the ship, the surrounding beach. From what we were able to ascertain, this is a fairly large island. At the very least, we're not entirely sure what is out there. There could be any number of native wild species that are dangerous. There could also be natives that are not quite as welcoming to our presence. So for everyone's safety, we would ask that you either maintain yourselves to the ship or the beach. Please do work with the crew. That way we can ensure that we can all leave and go home safely as soon as possible.
Go ahead and roll rapport.
Fair.
All right. Most of them seemed like, pretty mollified by this, but you hear, and you look over, you see an older gentleman with a bowler hat and a vest. Oh, and what young men of the explosion that we heard?
We were investigating a nearby location. We thought we had found something that might be useful. Unfortunately, we were not able to get it working. There was a bit of a backfire. It caused a bit of an explosion. We do apologize for any panic it might have caused. However, we'd like to assure everyone everything is fine. Everyone is okay, and we are continuing to attempt to create a means for us to make our way back to England so that everyone can return to their families, their homes, and their normal lives.
Okay, I am going to need you to roll me a deceive there.
Okay. You don't
'Cause-
say, because everything I just
Yes.
said was bullshit.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, let's see.
I do have convincing bullshitter, so if I do not beat it, let me know.
No, that is good enough to succeed, and everyone's sort of like, oh, yeah, okay. From what they're saying, we should probably be pretty alert for any sort of things nearby. We should definitely stick together and let the crew and these people who are volunteering explore more and try and help out here. And it seems to have gone over relatively well.
Okay.
That was a very important role.
And this is where I'm glad that I built a social encounter character.
Doyle will kind
Yeah.
of nudge you a little bit. Don't forget about asking for volunteers for security and whatnot.
Yes, that does remind me. Thank you for reminding me, Reverend. Just for the safety of everyone, if there's anyone who is trained or has any previous experience, we have been able to salvage some firearms and ammunition from the security offices. Unfortunately, we have not been able to locate those who had departed the ship in the lifeboats prior to our arrival at the island. So we are asking for any volunteers who have experience just for assistance in keeping watch here on the ship. I'll look around.
You get a few people who, had volunteer to take watches that have some minor experience, like personal shooting or hunting. That same older gentleman has come up to you. Oh, yes, young man. If I say so myself, I am a bit of a crack shot, as I was in the Royal Navy for a decent amount of time. And then he leans in closer. Don't know what you're leaving out, but you seem to have our best interests in mind, so as long as the staff can vouch for you, I'm willing to help with whatever you are planning.
Does Doyle hear this?
No, give me a notice roll.
Okay.
I'll as you're rolling notice to see if you hear. I'll shake
Yep.
his hand and I will shake his hand as he comes up and pat him on the shoulder. I appreciate your assistance in maintaining the peace here. It is good to know that we have someone with some experience here to assist.
He just nods and sort of continues over, grabs one of the other people and like basically forces them to come with him so that he doesn't violate the buddy system while he goes to find some staff members. And he's not spry by any means, but if what he's saying is true, then he has a good deal of experience with firearms, which would be very helpful.
Yeah, old like older grizzled veteran style.
Yes, very much so.
Yes. It is good to know that we have someone else who can shoot a fucking gun.
Yeah.
Besides Doyle. Because Dell and Ashton can't.
All right. So, let's see. Do any of you volunteer for shifts with Watch?
Doyle would.
Oh yeah.
And I'll wait for Jacob to get back. But each of you roll me notice.
As we're setting up watch, Ashton would suggest to Doyle, if you want to keep exterior watch, I can find a partner and keep interior watch. I believe Mr. Hopkins would be able to identify if anything was trying to enter the ship from the partially submerged areas, at least the most couple of likely points of entry and routes that we could keep watch at.
If there's a spare rifle, I have no issue with that.
There are certainly enough spare rifles.
Alright, I got a spare rifle and load it and go on the outside watch.
I'll have a rifle and a pistol and work the interior watch.
All right.
And we both roll our notice for you?
Yes.
Average.
Good.
Gosh, dang it all, you frickin' average rolls again? Okay, well that time at least it was a bunch of minuses and a bunch of pluses.
To be fair, it is your average result.
All right.
Better than 4.
I want to wait for Jacob to come back before I figure out everything, but
Yep.
need to know what Dell is doing. I do think, and I'm sorry to say this, I'm still not feeling super well, and it's been a very short session, but I think after we figure out everything for the night,
Yeah,
we'll call it there for the night.
that's okay.
That's fair.
I mean, we've had a long day, to be honest.
And it's a good stopping point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not a bad stopping point.
Yeah, we're definitely coming up to a good stopping point.
To be fair,
I'll
we
try,
also started at a very good stopping point. In that we all could have died very easily.
Yeah.
Yes. One of the things I do like about Fate is it lets you take these like creative battle plans and just very directly get mechanical effects from them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's in like, oh, here's some rules about like object HP and carrying capacity and fall damage and throwing it, and it's like, roll.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome stuff happens.
Yes, no, that combat went very well.
It was a bit of a roller coaster on my end, to be honest. I was concerned at a couple of points that you guys would have some other troubles, but you pulled through quite nicely.
It cost us basically all of our fate points, but we did okay.
But still not heard back from Jacob. Back.
He said it would be RP, but this has been a minute or two now.
give me another couple minutes.
Do you want to take a
If-
bio?
Sure, yeah. Let's take a bio real quick. We'll wait for him.
I know, I was
back.
asking if he took a bio.
Oh, no, he just said BRB in the chat.
Oh.
Which
Oh.
could mean any number of things.
Wait. Oh, there it is. Yep. Okay. I see it.
But, yeah, no, you guys fought that ghoul pretty well. So I love seeing some of the creativity and the approach of, attack, because, yes, it was very resistant to normal damage.
One of these days, we'll have to get more creative then. Light it on fire and make it explode.
I mean, that is a pretty good solution for many problems.
This is fair.
Alright, Jacob is back. Or
Sorry
so
about
he says. Yeah, we are just getting ready to wrap up, but I need to know what your character is doing for the first night's watch.
Yes, we managed to talk just as a bit of a recap for while you were away. We
Yeah.
managed to get the people into the ship,
Mhm.
calm down, a little bit more relaxed. They know they have their basic amenities, their basic facilities. You know, we have what we need to survive on here for a while the crew is working to get us off. I managed to bullshit my way through talking about the explosion. We got some volunteers, from personal shooters to hunters, to help with watch and guard duty, as well as kind of the grizzled veteran archetype in a bowler hat, who is apparently a member of the Royal Navy and is suspicious that we're leaving something out, but doesn't really care since we're helping the people and is going to be assisting us as well.
I did catch that part.
Doyle is watching up on deck out over the beach. Ashton is currently watching inside the ship, assuming that Dell is able to kind of direct us to the most couple likely points of entry if something were to come from outside the ship into it, in the submerged areas, and then kind of come up towards where the people are.
Question is, does Dell take a watch with Doyle, a watch with Ashton, his own watch with someone else, no watch at all?
He's gonna take a watch depending on who is available in the sort. And of course it's like, sounds as though we've got enough volunteers that everybody's gonna at least get a good amount of rest before the next day.
I will say, I feel either, if Dell is taking a watch, I feel either Dell or Ashton should be with Mr. Bowler Hat.
Yeah, Dell can do it with bowler hat.
All right.
Just that way, at
go
least
ahead.
one of the people who can't shoot is with someone who can shoot.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll notice for me.
Also, you watching inside or exterior?
Both? Probably inside, since I've got the revolver while he's got the rifle.
So you're kind of
Well, there would be two people inside and two people outside at the very least.
Oh.
yeah.
In that case, I'd be outside with him.
All right. Yeah, go ahead and roll notice.
God damn it! I have a +3. You know what? Actually,
Wow,
no.
that was
No.
crap.
You know what? This is okay, because I have a +3, which means that if I had any lower, I'd be in the negatives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Silver lining. Silver line. Do we get refreshed on our things here each session?
Each session,
Yes.
I'm spending the last one. +2.
How? You can't just say +2. You have to justify it through an aspect.
Hard working. I mean, I'm doing part of the job. Yes, it's not the job that I normally do, but we're in an odd situation here, okay? I've got a crew to protect, guests to keep safe, On top of that, I just got fucking attacked by one of these motherfuckers, and I've got the bandages to prove it right now. So, yeah, I'm gonna be pretty damn aware.
Sure.
That
Go ahead and
checks out to me.
It's a
reroll or
+2.
+2. Okay. You sure? Statistically, a reroll is going to help you more, but it could also just turn into 4 negatives.
That's my point exactly. Roll 20 is against me for some reason today.
All right. Well.
So a +2
turn out
is a safer
+2.
roll.
All right. So as you're on watch, Ashton and Doyle don't notice anything on their watch. You took the middle watch, so you and this gentleman who actually, as you talk with him during while you're sitting there watching, introduce himself as William Forthright.
William Forthright.
Spelled as the put that in chat real quick. For most of the shift, nothing much of interest happens. But as you're getting towards the end of your shift and getting ready to like go, getting anxious for the next set of people to come out, you do notice a lone figure on the beach approaching.
Good and ready.
And that's where we'll leave off for tonight.
Is it a lone 7-foot-tall figure?
At that distance, hard to tell.
Yeah, hard to tell. Hard to tell.
Hey,
Dell is immediately gonna raise his gun and is like, is it coming from straight ahead?
Well, that's where we're ending for tonight.
Yeah.
So cliffhanger. We will get back to it.
all right.